we did mention earlier how big the Nigerian film industry has become. By any measure, Nollywood is in the top 3 in the world. We're getting a taste of all that movie-making energy early next month, but right now we're going to hear about that movement. But first, we're going to watch the trailer from the biggest grossing Nigerian film of all time. It's called 30 Days in Atlanta. That's Atlanta, Georgia, not Lagos. Here it is. Not Lagos.
We here now. Finally made it.
Guess whose life takes an unexpected turn on the path of destiny?
Not me! Congratulations!
It is the beginning of a fabulous adventure, laced with desire.
Don't put apples and take me with you to America.
Hey! Okay,
Welcome to America.
Romance.
You are Champagne dreams, VIP life.
Very much.
And a series of unforeseen trouble.
I'll slap you.
Slap me now.
Obviously, I come like I tell us saying they work for oil and gas for you. So now kerosene attendant should be.
I don't call this time come Brazil. You hear me, so? I just want also small.
Go back to your wife. Leave me alone.
You say his name was Chaka Zulu?
Chaka Bula.
Get out, you there!
Wait.
Get out!
Oh, no.
I'm done. Get up.
Corporate World Entertainment presents 30 Days in Atlanta, The Adventures of Akpos, starring AY.
Who is you? Just say your wife be that. I don't allow woman colonize you for inside your own bunk.
Ramsey Noah,
Do you cook African foods?
Sure, that's all we do.
Vivica Fox,
Go on in the kitchen with Wilson so he don't have to go back and forth.
Lynn Whitfield,
No give me issue, no give me stress.
Carly Red,
Don't bother. Your wife explained everything to me.
Richard Mofe Damijo,
I have told you that she's all I have left.
Desmond Elliott,
So I'll just go there, sign out, and I'm gonna mess you guys up with something good. You know what I'm saying?
Rachel Onika,
Not everybody where they worry don't hear so now they go America.
Mercy Johnson, Ada Ahmed, Casey Jabari, Majid Michelle, and Juliet Ibrahim. 30 Days in Atlanta.
You hold her right there, or I will hold you in contempt.
Coming soon to a cinema near you.
It's time to start the countdown. I'm gonna burn it down. I'm gonna
Starting November 6th, Medgar Evers and St. Francis Colleges will be 2 of the hosts. Okay, the other one is in Queens, but for the inaugural Nigerian Film Festival series. It's the first ever American presentation of that all movie-making energy that's been going on in Nigeria for a couple of decades now.
That's right, and here to tell us more about Nollywood and the films like the huge commercial hit that is 30 Days in Atlanta that we just saw the trailer for is the festival's founder and executive director, Jonathan Adewumi. Although he was born in Nigeria, we've kept him here in Brooklyn for the last 20 years, so welcome to BK Live, sir.
Thank you very much. Actually, more than 20 years.
More than 20
If I must date myself.
Don't age yourself.
Rounded to 20.
I'm a class of 80 graduate of Brooklyn Tech, so
Okay.
I've been here. I've been here
Right
a
in the
while.
neighborhood. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Well, you know, speaking on that and just building on that, can you tell us a little bit about your experiences here in Brooklyn and how that sort of shaped your insight into Nollywood and what it's become now?
Well, like I said, graduated from Brooklyn Tech, and after Tech, went off to school, and my brothers and I started a clothing business, and we brought that business back to Brooklyn because at that time we felt the cultural diversity in Brooklyn, and as far as New York City, I guess the most acceptable borough for the diversity in culture, and it made a home for Nigerian fabrics and fashion. And with Nigerian fabrics and fashion, we manufactured wedding gowns. Even Stevie Wonder was our client for about 12 years. We did his daughter Aisha's wedding. So he would come to our showroom on Fulton Street, parked the limo outside. So being on Fulton was like, wow, this is where the celebrities, you know, Spike Lee's around the corner, you know, everything was going on in Brooklyn. And so it just made sense for Nigerian Fabrics and Fashion to be there. And we would have photo shoots with Essence magazine. Brooklyn, you know, it's what built what we're seeing now in Brooklyn, because the Brooklyn that was here when I was at Tech is different from the Brooklyn that, you know, the Bogolan merchants created in the early 2000s, and definitely different from the Brooklyn that we see now. But as Brooklyn changes, we also have changed and adapted with it, because our newest project, Amarachi Restaurant on 189 Bridge Street, is again, fashion, food, and now film.
Festival film.
So about this, we've got, the numbers are sort of staggering about the Nigerian. There's Nollywood, and then what else? There's Kennywood that we're talking about with all of the films that come out. So all of these movies, and there's lots of money, but there's also traditionally been this sort of problem of pirating the movies and people not really getting credit for the production and the distribution, and you guys are going to help change that with the film festival.
You know, the early days of Nollywood, and let me just say that before Nollywood, we did have a television and film industry in Nigeria, but it was the kind of thing where, you know, the neighborhood will come to like a community center, or even outdoors where they'll put up a projector and show everybody. Will just come out, sit and watch the films. So we went from those outdoor theater kind of things to DVDs, and it now became a home theater industry. You know,
so now it's been many years in Atlanta, and you used to be able to go into a lot of the African stores at the time, and get different products that you may want, but then you turn around and there'd be an entire wall of films. It was like walking into a Blockbuster, and you're like, I like buying DVDs, and I have no idea what any of these titles are, but there's a lot of them. You start to recognize some of the faces as well. So how long has this sort of industry been creating content that America just wasn't really aware of?
For about 20 years. So with the DVD home business, what happened with that was that the filmmakers were not receiving the revenue based on their production, because someone could just buy a clean copy, get on the plane, come to the U.S., and bam, 6,000 copies are produced in somebody's basement.
Not one penny back
and
to the producers.
Not one penny back. But as bad as that was, it was good, because it also exposed the world to the industry. We didn't have infrastructure in place to ship that content abroad in a way where the revenue could be calculated.
Now you can press a button.
So it did do us some good to have the companies that pirated the films and created the exposure. But now that the exposure is there, and Nigeria, Nollywood, is recognized as the second largest film producing country in the world, it's time for the cheddar. And so we have actually produced, in Nigeria, I think now we're up to about 20 cinemas where people on Sundays, it's now the culture. You take the family out to the movies. And most of the movies theaters are in malls.
How much does it cost to see a movie in Nigeria? Then we got $13 before the popcorn. Like, how much is it?
500
Do the math and adjust it.
It's about $5.
$5 a head. That's more doable.
And now with the malls, we have the popcorn, we have the soda fountain, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. All of the above. So the experience of taking the family out on Sunday after church, everyone now goes to the movies, which is creating revenue for the cinemas and also the filmmakers, because now you can tally up the dollars that are coming into the industry.
How many films will you be screening?
We're screening 5.
5 films.
And actually, how we came about this project, or how I came about this project, is through a mentor of mine, Jonathan Hicks, who used to be the financial editor for the New York Times for about 20-something years, and then went on to work with BET. He called me while I was in Nigeria and said, listen, I want to do a story on Nollywood for BET that the African-American audience doesn't know.
No idea.
That this is a multi-million-dollar industry.
The African-American actor.
actor also. So
$40 million last year.
exactly. So I said, okay, let me get out and contact, because if you know Jonathan Hicks, if he gives you an assignment, you do it, you know, and you do it very well. So I got 5 filmmakers for him to interview. And unfortunately, at that time when he arrived in Nigeria, he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and given 6 months to live a year and a half before he came. So he was on gifted time.
Yeah.
We were able to do 1 interview before he felt weak, and we went back home, and he subsequently came back to New York and passed away last November. So we didn't want that idea to die. We felt that the story John wanted to tell is a relevant story, and that we should do our part in making it happen, in part to honor him and his desire to bring the 2 countries together and bring the industry together. So the 5 films that we're showing and 5 filmmakers were the 5 people Jonathan was originally to interview in Nigeria.
All right, so when can we come out?
We start out November 6th at Medgar Evers, and one of the things that we are doing, in addition to showing the films, is we brought together a great group of panelists, because there's a lot of information that needs to be shared.
Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, you have women filmmakers. And the question that I have personally is, now that you're a filmmaker and you are creating the story, we've complained so much about having our story told by other people. Well, now you're telling the story. Have you changed the
Mm-hmm.
narrative on the perception of the African woman? So
we'll be out for the films
our panel
and the
discussions
discussion.
are going to be hot. They're going to be heavy.
All right. It's going to be great. The panel discussion, a lot to learn about and
November
network
6th.
with. November 6th, the 9th and the 10th at St. Francis College, 13th and 14th somewhere in Queens,
I just want to
and
make
the
sure
15th in
that
Harlem.
we get our website out,
Yeah, please.
www.nigerianfilmfestival.org.
NigerianFilmFestival.org.
So
All the
please
permits are
go
there.
on the website, leave us your comment, donate, because we're not charging. This is free admission. So please, everyone,
Talk
come
about
out.
the cheddar that is free.
And if I may, I'm sure John will be very happy. So,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you.